potential entrants. We discuss about pressure from buyers, buyer pressure or bargaining power, pressure from supplier, we call supplier pressure or bargaining power. We talk about competition and rivalry. We talk about substitute, the pressure of close substitute. And each of them have determinants or a way of curbing them. Like that, we that we call Porter's value chain. To reiterate, this is the third time we are meeting Michael Porter, or fourth time we are making Michael Porter. But the third model, which is Porter's value chain. Porter's value chain is talking about how can you make profit. 5 forces is about where can you make profit. Porter's value chain is talking about how can you make profit, meaning that this is depending on the internal capability of the entity. What can you combine together to make profit? To show us that company is beyond combination of MMMN. I don't mean policy scheme. M as in money, M as in men, M as in material, like that. So we have gone beyond that. So machinery, men, money, and material is not enough to make profitability. It combine these factors together.
Sir, please, your network is
before you go into hello? Hello?
Hello, yes, sir. Your network is very bad, sir.
My network?
Yes, it's not clear.
Okay. Just
yes, we can barely hear you.
What about now? What about now?
Not that good.
But I think it's okay now.
It's better now? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I said what we are discussing today is Porter's value chain. Porter's value chain is talking about how can we make profit. When Porter 5 forces is saying where can we make profit. So when Porter value chain is depending on the internal capability of an entity and the environment, the 5 forces is talking about external environment. The capacity is not as much controllable like our internal environment. So what I try to say is that in Porter's value chain, it's talking about how can we combine your resources together to make better outputs. Now I was saying that company has gone beyond combination of MMMN, that is men, machinery, material, and money. So now I was trying to make a sample of this general example, asking that at least first is eat bread. You can actually query and mention that one particular bakery, the bread is better. So what makes their bread better? They use the same material. What makes one better than the other? We patronize many eatery, either local or advanced one. Especially women, they can tell you where they can get the best jollof rice. Tantalizer, Chicken Republic, and so on and so forth, or Tastia. They still use the same thing. Why is one better than the other? In our location across the globe, people that actually history are very much. I don't want to mention the name of that Katula one in Abuja, no. It went to the extent that the other people that sells to here across the boundary. Okay, if you cannot tell us your recipe, be selling it for us. He said does not mind that he won't use himself. So meaning that combination is what actually bring about the acceptability of that product or output more than the other. That is the extent of where Porter's value chain is going. So how can you make a very good profit even when you are within your competitor? So now that way he's trying to actually describe to us, Michael Porter, series of activities or functions then link them to the advantage of competition for the company. Okay, we are seeing the same thing, we are selling the same thing, but one is better than the other, even within the same environment. If I may surprise you, some years back, my aunt used to sell cold drinks in Okefia. A wall divide a shop with the other one. His Coke then chill with ice block inside the bottle. He said it for 35 naira that time. Then the other shop will sell 50 naira. Then somebody will pass across our shop and go and buy the next one. Why? Something is fishy somewhere. His own is decorated very well. So what people paid that 15 naira for was the ambience, not the food, because the product is the same product. I hope I will be colder. So the ambience, what people actually pay for there. That was you say that in this bigger eatery, people does not pay for taste, they pay for ambience. So meaning that one can you combine together with these activities? Which of them can you make as your weapon to fight competition among all others? So Michael Porter tried to identify activity within an organization and around the organizations and see which one can give the entity a competitive strength. So we have a range of products. That person should mute the mic. Michael Porter divided those activities into two. Who is this person now?
Sarah Oluwanishola, please mute your mic. And Kelechi.
Okay, thank you very much. So Michael Porter divided these activities into two broad ones. So one of them is having 4, the other one is having 5. So there's one the first two as primary activities, and the other one is secondary activity, or they call it support activities. Now, primary activities are those activities that directly concern the production of goods and services. They are connected either by production or by distribution. They are connected directly. So these are one I call 5, according to Michael Porter. We have inbound logistics, we have operations, we have outbound logistics, we have marketing and sales, and we have after sales services. These are the 5 they call primary activities or functions. Now, the other 4, we call them support activities or secondary activities. If you check the diagram, each of these secondary activities are linked directly to each of the primary activities. So the 4 secondary activities or support activities are procurement, technology development, human resources management, and infrastructure. They are not directly linked to the production. Without them, actually, production of services can actually come into peace. You can produce your goods and services, you can sell them. But this one make efficiency and effectiveness of those processes. Because if there is no finance that is organized, inflow and outflow, payment of commission, payment of salary will not go well. In next city, we just use some days because workers are not being paid very well. They can't lose. If marketers, sales representatives do not get their commission at the right time, they will down tools. So what are you going to sell? If there's no research and development, who will tell you what is likely the next taste? What is in there that people are demanding for in the market? What is going to happen to the external environment and internal environment in the next 5-10 years? What is the need to actually go to technology? All this one are going to be taken care of by research and development and so on and so forth. So let's take them one by one. Let's start from primary activities. We have inbound logistics. Inbound logistics is telling us about what are the procedures, what are the activities, what are the functions that make for you to get your raw material into where you produce them, either good or services. What are the men you want to use in the services? What are the technology you need to do in your service? What are the equipment you need to do to render the services? I mean, the product, what are the raw materials? Which one are cogent? Which one you need to source? Which one can you save? And so on and so forth. Then the next one, we have operations. Operation is the real conversion of raw material of all kind into the product, finished product. You have raw material, work in progress, finished product. With this, you can be thinking of where it goes next: warehouse, distributor, direct to the market, direct to consumer, and so on and so forth. That is outbound logistics. Those processes and functions are referred to as outbound logistics. Production has not ended unless and until reach a final consumer. That is the work of marketing and sales. So they make sure that the product reach the best. And I try to mention that the capacity, tenacity of your product may not be as effective as how marketers portray them. I don't know if any of us have bought something that you are regretting why you buy it when you reach home. That is power of marketing and sales. Then you have after sales services, which include warranties and guarantees. Warranties and guarantees. Because of the rest of mind that if this particular product have problem, the company will collect it back. They will repair it. They will change the component. It is enough for you to stick to purchase of that particular product. So that is after sales. These are the ones that are directly linked to production of goods and services. Then the secondary activities, as I mentioned in that, we have procurement, who will help the inbound logistics if they are that one are in place. Then we have technology development. Anything that does not have that and the competing wide nowadays will find itself to be. Because without technology, which include research and development, entity may not perform well in this era. Then you have human resources management, who does not have any other job but to see what men are doing. When I mean men, I mean employee. Do we function? What is the function of HR? They know market, they know do accounting, they know produce. What are they doing? They are doing what will make your work very effective. By nature, human beings are created self-centered and lazy. If they don't poke you, you don't want to work. Somebody is in charge to make them sure that employee do what it's supposed to do at each point in time, to make the work more effective and efficient. And the last one is infrastructure. What will make you enjoy the work, which include finance, information management, and so on and so forth, process, and so on and so forth. So these are the activities which actually make production of goods and services very, very profitable. This, as I mentioned all the time, it is internal strength. You should check it. They are internal strength. Now back to the question: how do you make profit? How can you buy a bottle of Coke on the street for 450 naira or 400 naira or 500 naira, and you walk through opposite that street into a restaurant and they tell you that it is 700 naira or 1,000 naira? They're not the one that producing it. They want to say that the quality is better. And you move to an hotel, they tell you 2005. It's not going to be a surprise that we have hotels that sell a bottle of Coke for 5 nowadays. What are you paying for? What are you paying for? What you are paying, what they call value added. There are things that you can pay for. Or commercial for long afternoon, you need water. One water, 100 naira, 350 for education maybe. Then you know that across the road, they sell it 200 naira. It may be not easy for you or not possible to drop from the car you are and cross to the other side of the road and buy. Meaning that you are paying for conveniences. That additional money you are paying for is conveniences. Other one might be technical know-how. The production of this thing you are buying, you can't do it by you don't know how to do it. Even when it costs. I used to ask questions now. A bottle of beer, how much does it cost? Water and what do they combine together? You don't know. So you don't know how to do it, no matter how it is. Somebody said, you are charging how much? This is not what they give us. An estimate about 20-25 pages. That's what you are collecting this money for. I go and do it yourself now. You can do it. That's what people are paying for. At times, you are paying for economics of scale. For instance, you want to produce a loaf of bread in your house, especially when the flour and the rest of them was very expensive. For a loaf of bread that is 2,000, you're going to spend like 2,500 without accounting for your own time and resources because you are producing just one. The bread that is producing like 1,000, you have less than that per unit of the bread. So meaning that you might be paying for economy of scale. You might be paying for luxury. I just mentioned that of hotel. The ambience you are paying for is luxurious. Have somebody sleep in a hotel room, one room, or one suit per night, 1 million naira. 1 million naira per night. And you think it's stupid, it's not stupid. Somebody was querying like that some years back in Transcorp. You say you stay in Transcorp Hilton. So you praise that time, say in this my time, you can still buy a house for 500 million. So and you are paying like how many million per day? Say now you this stupid now. He say it's only here. I can meet Obasanjo, Dangote with that apartment. 35 seconds in the elevator is enough for me to pay that particular bill. You say, okay, that may be truth. So there's something you have in your literature. The organization incurred 10 million direct cost, indirect cost of 5 million, and sold the product out for 20 million. Meaning that of the product is 15 million and people buy it at 20 million. That's 5 million extra. Why people pay for it? Why will you pay for a bottle of Coke that costs you 500 outside and you go and pay 5,000 for it somewhere else? Why? The same type, the same volume. Why are you paying for that amount? So that's what we explain. It can be economy of scale. It can be technology, technical know-how. It can be convenience, and so on and so forth. So now, organization should understand which of these things can make it better. There's no need to copy. Even when you are selling the same thing or the same product or related product, don't copy yourself. I want to do like a company or company B. You are going to fail. The only thing is that where is your strength lying? Let's take some example. We said we have primary activities and secondary activities. Entity might rely on primary activities and work less on secondary activities. Another entity might rely on secondary activity and work less on primary activities. Let me give an example of two products. We have iPhone. We have Techno. Both of them have their market in Nigeria or not? The answer is yes. They have their market in Nigeria. But they don't depend on the same model. For instance, iPhone invested more on the secondary activities more than the primary activities. What's that? Investment in technology. What this one will give us is that when you invest more on technology, you will have your product more durable, more secured, and very, very advanced. And that's why you see that it is not as easy to hack iPhone like other phones. It's more secure than the other phone. The camera is sharper and they don't got bad easily. When technology is coming to Nigeria, it does not have that high power to invest in technology. The product was so bad. If you use technology when it just came, 2011-12, if you use it for 2 minutes, the thing will be hot. At times it will hang. Then what do? They have call center in almost every city in Nigeria. Apple does not need to actually invest. I don't even know anywhere where they officially that is Techno that the iPhone that open is for repair. That time, Techno have very, very many offices at their call center where they repair their phone. Just go and give them, don't collect money from you. You say, come back next week. They're going to give you back. That is after sales service, which is part of primary activities. Why iPhone invest in technology, which is a secondary activity. So meaning that each of them can serve you depending on your flying capacity. The truth is that both of them are having their market in Nigeria. That is the basic truth. They are having their market in Nigeria. Techno is making its money cool in Nigeria. iPhone is making its money cool in Nigeria. With different activities lead. They are selling related products. Smartphone. The first time I saw Techno product 1 million, I said, what? Techno? That is it. Another example is that an entity might want to actually invest more in human resources management. Why one want to actually invest more in operations? So the one that invest more in human resources, they're thinking that why are they training their staff like this? They will pay less per hour because the staff employee are more efficient. They will get more output per period than staff that are not trained. There will be less wastages of material, and the product will not assume substandard when they get to the market. That is independent. If you didn't spend more on human resources, you're going to spend more on operations, because wastage, bad products, normal loss, and so on and so forth. It goes like that. So if people abandon operation, abandon human resources, they are focused on marketing themselves. Notwithstanding, we are not going to buy that product again, no, but that time you are going to buy. If they talk, some people talk to you like it's marketing. You don't know when you put your hand into the bucket or do transfer, you buy the product that you do. Then when you reach, you asking yourself, why do I need to buy this product? Why do I need to buy it? The why is those guys. That is power of marketing and sales. Your own might be after sales service. If I buy this product, I don't have a problem in next thing. If there's a problem, they will come and do. I don't need to be looking for who to repair or where to repair. So what I say that each of these can contribute to entity making a very good margin. You can make a very good money based on any of this one you choose to combine together. And if you choose to actually combine many of the primary and secondary activities together, you can be flying across the sky. You can be flying across the sky. So when we get, assuming that we get this one well, you can actually proceed. Like for Japanese countries, they only think about outbound logistics. You don't need a warehouse, and that's where they started just in time. I mean, your PM at that particular period at that time. Just in time, don't need a warehouse. They order inbound logistics from raw material as they are finishing the product, ship directly to the consumer, ship directly to the distributor, shipping. So each of the entity will know where is the best for me to spend my money according to the internal arrangement. That's where you see that company A and company B are succeeding, and they are parallel to themselves in operations and logistics. That is what Market Porter is trying to tell us as far as value chain is concerned. So we are talking about the chain. Chain is the link between the activities of the entity and profitability. Let me repeat in English. When you say about value chain, the chain that creates the value is the link between those activities and your profitability. So what are the activities you do in your entity? They are compared with the output. How much does it make money for you? How they call it value chain. What are the chain that bring about value to you? What are those chain that bring the value to you? So the chain is the link between activities, primary activities and secondary activities. The lesser your cost, the higher your net income. I think all of us understand that from the basic knowledge of costing. The higher your cost, the lesser your activities. So basically, that is what value chain is trying to tell us. If you're able to get that, what's the time now? Okay. If you're able to get that, we can move to the next model, which is product life cycle, or we call it basic life cycle. Product life cycle or basic life cycle. This is one of the oldest model that don't even change name. Just like what you said about pestle. So it started from pest, very old. But you cannot identify two problems in product cycle. Actually, okay, check the charts that you have under number 2, the product life cycle. Check the chart and tell me some of the things you know that doesn't look well. You will get it. That's why I think I have about 3 charts for the product life cycle there. Be able to get it, like if otherwise, continue. Now, as I mentioned, product life cycle, yes, tell me the differences you see. You can identify them. Everybody start learning.
Sir, I think your network is not that clear.
You
Okay, you can change location, sir.
yeah. I can barely hear you. Okay? That's as much as we say that this model is one of the oldest models. Only see it in any strategic retreat to talk about the planning, strategic planning for any entity. Why? You have less capacity about determining the future. You have less capacity about determining the future. However, it's very good in identifying at each stage the sales revenue, the outflow, then they can actually get you the net income at each stage of stage on that. One of them look exactly like each other. Now, let's start from this. No product is guaranteed to follow the stages in this diagram. Because generally we say classical, I call it classical is that we have 4. Introductory stage, growth stage, maturity stage, and decline stage. Ordinarily, the stages of product are more than that. Ordinarily, I used to call the beginning gestation. That is before it comes to market. No product come to market except there is a research done. They will test run before they even bring to the market. That time is not appearing on the product life cycle chart. Now, it is being called development in the new era now, developmental stage. It's not there. When it is there, no product is guaranteed to follow that one. That is introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. I can tell you, no matter of doubt. I know some come that are more than 300 years, they never decline. They are even waxing stronger. They are of 100, 200 like that. They are still waxing stronger. Okay. Some of you that you are a lot of you in both girls and boys, you hit take coca out. that product started in 1877. They are still waxing stronger. Are they going to decline? No. Guinness is more than 250 years now. Still making money. First bank in Nigeria was more than 20 years. It's not my network, I think. Hello.
You can barely hear you. Everything you are saying.
Is it everybody?
Yes, so your network is
Sir.
very
Yes, sir. We
breaking.
are struggling
Can't
to
hear you at
hear
all.
you.
We can barely
We
get
are
what they are saying,
struggling
sir.
to hear you, sir.
Okay, do. Yeah. Okay, let's have our break now then. Then when I come back, the next one will be better. Let's have a 10 minutes break, thereabouts. We resume. I pray that network. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. So we are going on a break for 10 minutes. So we'll be back at 6:50. Right. Thank you. Okay, for those who are just joining us for the first time,
Um,
welcome back, sir.
Hello.
Hello, yes, I can hear you. Hello.
Hello. What about you now?
We can hear you, sir.
Hello. Can you? Hello.
Hello, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. Good.
We
Thank
can
you
hear
very
you,
much.
sir.
Now let's just go back to the model: classic life cycle or product life cycle. Classic life cycle or product life cycle. Why I say product life cycle? He's talking about stages of development to death of any product, either goods or services. Why is it classic? Classic means that he portrayed the most identified stages of product, meaning that there's other stages that are not in this chart. They are not on this model. That is developmental stage, what we call gestation period of the product, where the entity goes for research, testing, before it moves into the market for people to know. Anyways, I mentioned in the beginning, product life cycle is one of the oldest model or tools for analysis. We hardly see in strategic planning sessions that they use product life cycle. Why? It barely goes into feature with reasonable accuracy. Which of that he identify at any point in time, that's the best to know. At any point of the stage of development of the product, it shows the level of inflow and outflow of cash, we call it revenue and expenditure, and it shows you the net cash flow at each stage. It's very good at that.
Okay, I think you will join us. Okay, for those who are just joining us for the first time, my name is Ibrahim Akindele, and I and Mr. Maruf will be taking is taking a strategic financial management. So all the previous lectures, you can check it on YouTube. You can just check SFM playlist. Just take the playlist, you will see all the videos there. So if you have any questions, right? If you have any question, you can always send message to the group. We'll definitely attend to that, please. So the material for capital budgets, we've uploaded it on the Google Drive, so you can check for the material ahead of our class tomorrow. So we shall continue with our lecture on capital budgeting tomorrow. Hopefully, we should be able to at least finish it. Maybe it will take like 2 weeks, right? And hopefully, we should be able to at least finish that within 2 weeks. So when we are done with capital budgeting, we look at bond valuation, and from bond valuation to option pricing. When we are done with option pricing, now spend more time on valuation of a business, the free cash flow, the merger and acquisition, and all that. Then thereafter, we'll close our lecture with international investments, right? International investment. We should not forget that I made mention of capital reconstruction, and it's very important. Maybe I may take that capital reconstruction in intensive class, right? So you can take that one for to intensive class. So capital reconstruction. So all of this will be covered. We'll cover at least 85%. Yes, lease is under capital budget. Yes, we'll do that. We'll cover that side as well. So all of this will cover at least 85% of the syllabus, and you'll have 15% to cover. So I will leave that one with you. We'll leave that one with you. You should not forget that strategic financial management is the combination of both the theoretical aspect and non-theoretical aspect. You should not equally forget the theoretical aspect of it, which is very important. The dividend policy, of course. Maybe after the next class, I will update the Google Drive with dividend policy. Of course, my Mr. Maruf, we also update the Google Drive on governance. You should not forget governance, risk management, and ethics. Then the beginning of strategic financial management, which is he has actually explained that as well, the strategy and all that. Then the models and the models, then you are good to go. Yes, that will cover the theoretical aspect of it. Then you are good to go. And that is what I told the student last day, that you know what, you will do. We have to do a strategy that you take the theoretical part. Let me take the financial. Let me take the calculation part of it, and that is what we did. There is no class I will enter last diet. I will not mention. I will not actually mention dividend policy, risk management, and ethics, corporate governance. I will usually mention all of those things in class. Of course, this diet also have done that. So please don't joke with it. Make sure you follow all those things up, so that you can be able to do what achieve the goal. So if you have questions, I don't know what happened. Mr. Maruf is here to join. Mr. Maruf, are you still with us? I don't think so. So should, in case you have question for me, you can unmute your mic. So let's use this opportunity. If you have question for me, you can unmute your mic. So while we are waiting, okay, can we have a quick chat? A quick chat while we're waiting for Mr. Magu. So how has been the learning process? Okay. Hello, sir. Let's have a quick chat. And how has been the learning process, and what is it called? What has been the major challenge so far? What has been the Adeyemi, right? So feel free to speak up, right? Adeyemi. Okay, Olamide, are you there? Olamide.
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir.
Okay. So while we are waiting for Mr. Maruf to join us, so what has been the major challenge? So let me hear from you first.
Ah, from my own end, I don't really have challenge like that. It's just that I'll make more friends, new friends from next gen because people enter my DM to reach me out to ask questions. We form group partner, reading together. I think I've enjoyed next gen so far.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I also want to hear the part of the weakness so that we can actually work on it. Not only on next gen, we're talking about individual as well. Like the part that okay, probably someone may be here that want to actually assist you in one or two things, right? So maybe you have
Hello.
some weakness. Okay. Uh just
Hello.
hold on. Who is that?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, it's impersonation anyway. I don't know what
Okay,
happened actually.
okay. Okay, sir. You can go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so meaning that we have talked about from the beginning of product life cycle. Is that so? Hello.
We are with you, sir.
Okay, good. I said we've lost contact from beginning of product life cycle. I want to know where to start.
Yes, I think so, sir.
Good. So let's start from there so that at least meaning that we will be next week. Okay. You see 716. Now I said product life cycle is one of the oldest model or tools for management analysis. However, you will hardly see it nowadays, generally, when they are doing strategic planning. One of the reasons is that it's hard for you to actually produce feature with reasonable assurance with product life cycle. Then I mentioned something about the names product life cycle itself. So you try to trace the life of any product, any whatsoever, from the beginning to quote and unquote the end of that particular product. These are the sales or revenue, the one that we call cash inflow, and the cash outflow at any level that determine the net income we call profit at some point in time. What stage is better for each of the products? That is what product life cycle is. Then we're talking about classic life cycle as one of the name we answer, classical life cycle, meaning that some of the life pattern are not highlighted or included in the chart that we've seen. I don't see there's any chart. I've not come across any chart that show the developmental stage, the one I used to refer to as gestation. Just like regular human being, when somebody is celebrating 10 years birthday, 2 years birthday, 1 year birthday, when did they started counting? The day the boy or girl is giving birth to. Is that when last thought come to him or her? Laugh has come when he was in the womb, but nobody know him or her at that time. So it was not counted. It's the product. When people making research, development, they are doing test running, they are taking licenses. Nobody see that product. But when they come into the market, they say, okay, they introduce a product to the market. Meaning that there's some life that they existing for that time, it is not counted. That is to refer to as classical lifestyle. When they become a classic item. So that is not about the name. So one of the major things that is not going to be used or people are not using for strategic planning is that no product is guaranteed to follow the pattern. If we see the pattern itself, the three charts in this material, they don't look like each other. And the three are correct for product life cycle because they have the four major stages that is identified: introductory, growth, maturity, and decline. Two problems here now. Problem one, they don't look alike, they differ. Problem two, no product is being given assurance they're going to follow this pattern. That is introductory, growth, maturity, and decline. I hope we are still together. Now, I mentioned that there are some products in the world of today, they have not passed the level of maturity, and they have spent hundreds of years. They spent hundreds of years, either in Nigeria or elsewhere. You don't know any other company, you know First Bank in Nigeria. First Bank has celebrated 100 years past, up to a decade now. UAC is how old. Coca Holds is going to 200 years. I don't want to mention some names again. Some of the alcoholic drinks, 250 years, 300 years, and they are still waxing stronger. Meaning that they have not reached their decline. How many of the people that promote that company are still alive today? The promoter, the first directors, where are they? So if they have this product life cycle as a pattern, then they have not reached the last stage since 300 years back. Another problem that it has, which is very, very strategic, is that if they follow this pattern assumingly, the time they spend at each stage differs a lot. It's not easy to say that, okay, when we introduce any product to the market, you're going to spend 5 years at introductory stage. You're going to spend 3 years at the growth stage, 10 years at maturity. There's no pattern like that. So each of them will come as nature market accept that. I made an example of MTN. They come to Nigeria. They have 10 years projected cash flow and income statement. Reliably, I learned that what they projected in 10 years has been achieved before the end of the 3rd year. And they mentioned that time that that's one of the reasons they are the global managing director relocated from South Africa to Nigeria. If that one is far, Dr. was telling us about the refinery that the first 4 years will be a loss. It will take him to the 50 years of refinery before he can make break even and still making profits. And lovely we learned that the projection of pump price per liter was about 400 and something, close to 500 naira. That means that for 2024 ending, 2025, 2027, within that particular. Myself and myself know that as less year, pumping price go beyond 1,000 increases. To me, that at no stage does it sell less than 700 naira. So meaning that from 400 naira to 900 or 700 naira, it has to multiply by 2. It's likely that by this year, it already broke. Products are like that. Then the last one of the source apart of the product is the last one, which is more strategic in any decision. There's no diagram or chart of classical life cycle you see that after decline it rises. I've not seen, I've never seen any literature or any space knowledge that you see classical life cycle charts that come down at decline and rise again. Even this three chart we have here, none of them shows that. That's the way you need classical decision making. You need to differentiate this sales that fall. Is it a temporary dip or beginning of decline? Temporary dip is that naturally market will not be going at the same level. It goes up, it comes down, it goes up. So coming down here now, is it a decline or a temporary dip in sales? None of the diagram of classical life cycles identify this. Because at that stage, you need to make your decision what to do at that time. What to do at that time. Do you need to sell off? You rebrand or what? Let me give you a local example. In the 80s, Toyota came to Nigeria, Chevrolet came to Nigeria, Hyundai came to Nigeria, I think Kia came to Nigeria. Among all these, only Toyota and Honda survived the market. In the last 1 decade, all of them come back. And now are taking place in very big size in the market. So after the decline, there's a rising. I think we'll be able to get that. In some years back, demand for Peugeot as a vehicle declined because they were still talking about strength that time. But they have in about less than 2 decades now. Or thereabouts. They get a new managing Roy. The time of strength has gone now. The time we had now is time of luxury. That was it started producing luxurious cars from 406 at the first one, 406. So in this is not a matter of everything should be iron. I used one car, 10 years, I didn't open the engine. Who want to use one car for 10 years? For what now? So meaning that there will be temporary dip, which is not decline. So this one is not showing difference between decline or temporary dip. What is natural is that entity product can come down at a time. It's going to rise again. So no, this one does not tell us time. But after decline, talk less of differentiate between decline and temporary dip in sales. However, this one being mentioned, what are the specific inflow and outflow at each of these stages of life cycles? What are the challenges at each of the stages? Let's check them. We mentioned that we're going to discuss 4 of them: introductory stage, growth stage, maturity, and decline. Maturity and decline. Now at introductory stage, the challenge here is whether the product is going to be accepted in the market or not. You don't know. Your strength is not about your capacity. It's not about your size. It's not about your popularity in the world. You can introduce a particular product to the market and it will fail. It will not succeed. Nobody will buy it. You will have a very small quantity of purchase, patronage. So that is the challenge at the first time. Is it going to make the market? Not going to break the market. There are various examples of this. Okay, now, how long do you see? I want to make a product of the one of the biggest business company in Western a lot of Africa, Dangote product. How long have you seen Dangote cube, that's for seasoning, Dangote tomato paste, and Dangote noodles? Can anybody answer? When do you see them? Let me repeat. I'm giving an example concerning introductory stage of any product. The major problem, major challenge is acceptability. Whether it's going to succeed in market or not. Now, I said, how long did you see Dangote tomato paste, Dangote cube, that is for seasoning, like Maggi and all, then Dangote noodles, like Indomie and the rest of them? How long do you see them? You didn't make it. As big as Dangote. Leave Dangote alone. As big as Coca-Cola. I think that the highest brand in the world over the years. Some of their products died. So one of them is just coming back now. Because they are doing facelifting. That is Schweppes. Schweppes went off track. Don't see them on the, what do you call it, the place items now. On the shelf. And we're talking about the best brand in the world. So any product can fail. What took us to that is that any product can fail. So the fear is natural. The product is coming out for the first time, it's going to be acceptable in the market. I'm going to actually take it or not. If he succeeded in that, notwithstanding the cash inflow will be smaller than the cash outflow, meaning that the net income will be negative at all point in time. Anyway, we are coming to that breakdown in BCG. So at the first stage, the problem number 1 is acceptability at introductory stage. It's not everything that you introduce to the market, no matter your size or your capacity, that has the best of market. If it is accepted in the market, meaning that problem number 1 is solved, that is succeeded. Problem number 2, the growth stage. Now the challenge will change from acceptability already accepted. What is the next challenge? Competition. The next challenge is competition. Don't forget in the last class, because some of the forces we identify as threat of potential entrance. No matter how difficult that is, some people will venture into it, they will come to the market. And they're going to destroy the level of your patronage. They're going to cut part of your shares. So the major problem and challenge in growth stage is competition. As a result, even when you are getting more money, you cannot save that money or call it a profit. You need to be spending as much as that. Not to start a problem again, on advertisement and promotion to keep the name ringing in the bell. That was saying that if we want to today, Coca-Cola still advertise, Indomie still advertise, unless you want to be out of shape. So as the money comes at the growth stage, money go out because at that stage there are always problems of competition. So to stay ahead, being the market leader or market challenger in the field of operation, anything to be advertised. So at that particular time, the net cash flow is going to be zero or even negative sometimes. So that is the challenge at the second stage, which is growth and the cash flow issues. The next stage is maturity stage. We call it mature phase, maturity stage. How do they call it maturity? There's no more fear. Whether I go to be accepted, somebody is running after me, just like a regular human being. You think you don't even care about everybody what you're looking at. When we are still growing, like majority of us in the class now, our majority of our money goes to cosmetics, big phones. Want people to see you shining. Expensive hair, expensive. This one you buy to clip to your hair. This fake who here to put on the hair. Some of them goes into millions of naira. You want to be fine to be. But at maturity, you don't sell anybody. Now, meaning that at maturity phase of any product, the challenge will change from project to something else. Now, challenge they will have is customer or consumer pressure. Why is at the mature growth stage, every product in the same region, every product in the same class has competed and show off their capacity. Consumer know where each of them is good. You know where each of them is good. So if you want to win the car, because of this time, I don't need this one, just press this one. Just come through telecommunication. At this stage, myself and yourself will know the strength of each of our GSM provider. One of them, I don't want to mention, is very good in coverage, very good to see them. Another one, the cheapest that they can talk about all around. Another one, they are better at internet. So which one do you need? So if you want to bring a guy with drop because of that, go and buy another one. Phone have competed. We know the strength of all of them. Wait, I can go and buy one being finished like that now. I'll go and buy a pouch of iPhone, record iPhone tone inside, chicken. You display a display. How will you display that one? No, that's always be crashing me like that. Let me go and buy my iPhone, and so on and so forth. Because you've known the impact, why people buy it. You're able to actually produce and you don't have that need, you drop it. So at maturity stage, the pressure is on the entity from the consumer. They will demand for time, they will demand for quality. You have to, if you want me to patronize you, you have to give me this, give me this. Am I sure of this? Am I sure of this? Next year we'll make it another. We have 63 chartered accountant last year. Hey, that's what we want to listen for now. Not that you can, everybody can be online. Because if you are proud, you can produce this. You let people know what you are doing. Other than that one, who has, student who has. How many people pass? It's a common thing. If you don't pass, they will leave you. Is it your face they want to see? Or your English? They don't speak English. Some of them go to better school. Some of them don't even go to grammar school. It's every student who went. Like that. What I'm saying is that at a maturity stage, the challenge are draw from competition to demand from our consumers. They want to get because they see finish at that particular place. Recently, people say, what is the Toyota? The Toyota is overrated. Even Honda, some of the Honda products can save more fuel than Toyota. Because everybody have shelved their power. So you can see that consumers say, I don't have that. Can you give me this? Go away. So that then when they come to decline, another problem will come other than those other problems. We should note that at each level, the problem are not the same. So at mature stage, you have more sales. You have more sales at mature stage because you don't need competition again, like you need in growth stage. They're coming to decline. the major problem is to identify or make the differentiation between decline and temporary dip in sales. For months, the sales revenue is just coming down. The first thing to determine is that, is this the beginning of a decline or just a temporary dip in sales? Within the next few weeks, it can go up like that. And it can continue to go up and not come down again. Or as it's going to, most of it is based on other factors, internal and external. Worst case scenario, if it's external, because external factors are systemic some of the time. You need to know at this stage, is see a temporary dip in sales or the beginning of a decline. Now, if it's the beginning of a decline or a decline state, what can you do? Another question to answer. Another challenge is decision making. What should I need to do with this? To divest? To sell it to another company? To sell the product, whether it will survive? Just like we have Limca. Limca is surviving under Coca-Cola. The same thing with Eva. Eva is surviving under, in fact, I don't even know something like Eva without on Coca-Cola took it over. It's a very good decision making. So at that point, after you know that's a decline, what can you do? Is it possible that, okay, let's do a little changes, facelift, rebranding, whether they can be accepted in the market? Like what you do? Like what Coca-Cola is trying to switch nowadays. That's what I want to do when I come back to the Nigeria market. And we do that, they achieve higher sales in the market. Those are the challenges. Or we remain permanently, didn't do anything, we didn't go out. Because in the class of people will move out of the market. Then you remain the last man or last product standing in the market. Anybody looking for that particular product is come and look at you. Any average old person that having stomach disrupt, what he will think of is Andrew Liverstone. I don't know if all of us know Andrew Liverstone. He didn't leave the market, he didn't leave brand. Another product of that nature is Alabuku. I don't know whether we know Alabuku. The age mate of Alabuku, they've casted so long. Fensic. I don't know if you know about Fensic or Kafino. Alabuku did not change, it's there. Another one is local. I think all of us should know it. It's Ekwajebu. You know Ekwajebu? Ekwajebu is what I know it to be. When they bought me about 18 years back, it's the same thing now. So 18 years to this time, it did not change. 20 years to this time, it did not change. It's the same thing. I go still buy. So when that product in that mind is actually casted, they are not buying it. So it is yet to be made. At the decline stage, what can we do? Rebrand, sell off, remain as we are, and become the last man standing in the decline market. At that time, you become a monopoly. We should understand the stage of monopoly in Porter's 5 forces. In monopoly, you can dictate your price. People have money to be very effective, and there's nobody competing with you. So, at the last stage, if you're able to achieve that, your cash flow will be positive. You are not spending more for competition, you're not spending more for advertisement. You already know whatever people pay to you is your money. So that is the area of need of circumstances for product life cycle. Okay, do you have a question? We share for our question to the close. Let's move to the next or the last one for today. That is the BCG. BCG is Boston Consulting Group. Matrix. The Matrix is one of the René model. Anyway, it's one of the youngest. But because the company that projected this one, they are still much alive. That's Boston Consulting Group. Boston is one of the city in the United States of America. That's where the company originated from. Just some of you have Abuja Culinary School, a hotel. So the name the company carried the name of the city where they started from. And their consulting group is one of the biggest consulting groups of the world today. I think they were about 150 countries nowadays. And they cater for about 60% of the greatest company of the world. So they're very big. And they have this model to analyze products. Any entity that have more than one product or product line, the best to determine the product's portfolio is BCG. And that's why in the other name we call it is portfolio management matrix. Another name for BCG is portfolio management matrices, because it analyzes portfolio. The wider your portfolio, the better your risk status, meaning that the lesser your vulnerability. Now, BCG analyzes products of entity in a way to say, if you want to be sustainable in value chain, you say we are talking about sustainable profit. In Portal 5 is talking about sustainable. So for you to be sustainable as a company, one product is not going to be good for you. Then if you have multiple products, how is the relationship? How is the relationship? That's what BCG trying to explain to us as a model. Now, because it's a 2x2 matrix, there are two factors that BCG use in doing this analysis. One, relative market share. Two, market growth, or can we call it industrial growth. In the next class, there will be a little calculation we are going to do based on this to show us how we can come across this. So the existence of this, the combination of the products you will have in your portfolio that can give you sustainability of that company. You just mentioned that somebody is about 300 years ago. It's not only one product that produces. It's not only one product. Even if you look like they will have differences. The one that fit the rainy season, dry season, winter, case might be to youth, young one, old, fat people, thin people, like, and a set of them like that. So now refers to it as portfolio analysis. When you say market share, what do we mean by the word market share? Market share is the ratio percentage of your own sales compared to the total sale of that product for a period. Period can be a month, can be a year, can be a year. For example, now, in the noodle industry, I think we mentioned several of them the other time. You have Indomie, mini, noodles. Which other one? Hello?
Tommy.
Hello?
Tommy.
I just mentioned.
Tommy.
Okay, Tommy.
Me.
Okay, 5, 6, like that. So when you say that in a particular product, let's say a year, the total sales for noodles in Nigeria, for instance, is 12.5 billion. In that 12.5 billion, how much sales goes to Indomie? How much sales go to Yomi or Tommy? How much sales go to Dangote if there's something like that? So that percentage is referred to as market share. So the one that have the highest market share will be the market leader. The one that have next to that will be market challenger. And the rest of them like that. So that is market. Then when you say market growth or industry growth, how would that one to mean? So what is the percentage of increase in your sale per period? In month 1, you have 2.5 billion sales. Month 2, you have 3.5. Month 3, 4.5. Or you have month 1, 10 million. Month 2, 10.1. Month 3, 10.3. In these two, which one have the highest growth? The first one or the second one? No answer. Let me repeat in English. I'm talking about market growth or industrial growth. That what the percentage of increase in the sales of your product, your company product, in periods. Let's say product A, the first month, 250,000. Month 2, 1 million. Month 3, 2 million. Month 4, 6 million. And product B, the first month we say 10 million. Second month, 10.1. Third month, 10.2. Fourth month, 10.3. The product A and product B, which one have the highest growth rate?
Product
Product A.
A.
Product A. Product A.
You don't want in our calculation next class. So meaning that what it requires to ask market growth is not the amount of sales, it's the rate of increase per each period of that product. So the combination of those two is what give us these 4 categories of products. Among these 4 categories, company need just only 3 of them. In some literature, you have those products in diagrams, some of them in names, as you can see in the chart you have with you there. I think you have all this diagram. It's only just write name. Now, the combination of market growth rate and market share give us 4 groups of products. We have problem child or question mark. You can see question mark here. Problem child or question mark. We have star products. We have star products. We have cash cow. We have cash cow. Then we have dog. In the circumstance, this cash cow do not draw cash on the draw. They will draw a bag containing dollar or naira. It is the cash cow. And like this one now, the combination is there. Question mark or problem child, star product, cash cow, or dog. 4 groups of products. In fact, any entity need the 3 consecutively for sustainable growth and development. Now, like this example we have here, we have a market growth rate on the vertical axis or y-axis. Relative market share on the horizontal axis or x-axis, as the case might be. Meaning that each of these can be high or low. Each of these can be high or low. How about the problem we are going to discuss in the problem at the end of this model is the closeness of each of the analysis gap of each of the products. But statically, we have 4. That's combination of market growth rate and relative market share. For any of the models that use high and low, remember we identify in the Mendelo matrix, we do arithmetic of this one plus this number. We need it here too. Because a scenario can change the position of the factors. Even when the market growth is either vertical and market share is horizontal, it can change the position of high and low. Like this one now, the low is at the below of low for each of them. For the market growth rate, that's extreme left down. For the market share, extreme left down. You should remember in our Mandela, it was top left, we put the low, which was high for the vertical axis. So we actually follow the regular law of integers. Start from 0 or start from 0 right. So we have low, the high. So let's take this one down now. When you have high growth rate and high market share, that is a product is having high growth rate and high market share, that product is a star product. Let me repeat. A product with high growth rate and high market share, that product is a star product. You get that one? The next group of products will have high growth rate but low market share. High growth rate plus low market share. That is problem child or question mark. High growth rate but low market share. That is problem child or question mark. You are coming to what do you have that names like that? Next one. A product have low growth rate but high market share. That is low growth rate plus high market share. That is a cash cow. That is a cash cow. Low growth rate but high market share. That is market leader. That is cash cow. The fourth one have low growth rate and low market share. Low growth rate and low market. That is dog. That is dog. Now, okay, good. Let's try to go to them in whether we can get them right before the end of our time. Now we said question mark. You should not forget from our formula now. Question mark means that the growth rate is high, but the market share is low. Meaning that you can have some feature achievement element in that product, but now it's not good. Tomorrow might be good, today is challenging. What is tomorrow might be good? If he can be able to sustain and be going at this rate in the next few years, it's going to break into the market. But as present, the market share is low, meaning that you will have negative cash flow. If you borrow from the experience of classical life cycle, the market share is low, you can see that the increase is much. So there's a challenge. There will be negative cash flow. The net cash flow will be less than zero. Now, the question of question mark comes like this. If the future is good and it's not bringing money now, question number one, are we going to continue spending on this product or we just drop it? You say, so this boy is brilliant, Jerry. I don't have money to send it to university. Just go and learn bricklaying, manspreading, auto mechanic, trade. So the first question is, okay, we are going to continue to sponsor it. You need to ask another question. Where are you getting the money from to sponsor that product? Because the money is bringing out now is very, very small. That's why they call it question mark at this stage. You will raise a lot of questions. Two of them we just mentioned now. Why is he a problem child? A young woman, very active, working on employment, still very active in proprietary, selling many things. What they call it? They call it multi something. Now gotten married. There's challenge. You need to take care of the home now. You need to take care of the child or children now. Okay, mama, send me a maker or send me now you're from village. The guy come to the city, you put in the LA. You put in the private school. You may cut your head. Put in government school. You are at work the first day. The principal call you, waiting up. You need to buy another uniform. You're not selling uniform. He said, no. That boy about there you came, fought with somebody and tell uniform A to Z. Wahala. Okay, I'm coming. Send money. The second week, they call you again from where not police. Police say, what are you doing? He said, your boy is like, he cannot actually demand a small boy like this. What happened now? He was fighting with somebody. He forgot nails inside somebody's head. He forget nails. He put nails and forget it. Wahala. Solve that one. The third one, now headmaster himself call you. Wait, he throw stone and break the glass. You are taking with that, boy. Don't worry. I'll send you back to the village. Just don't worry. Let me have my leave at December. Before December, they do the end of the year ceremony and prize giving day. Best in basic science, your boy. Best in barbarism, your boy. Best in creative art, your boy. Hi. Problem child. What will I do with it? Take it back to the village. You pray for him. Take it for deliverance. And what or what? What or what? So when you have combination of good or bad in any product, they call it problem child or a question mark. That is the first group in the first quadrant of the product. If you're able to spend on this, you may likely get a very big market. Meaning that you look for money somewhere else to do advertisement, promotion, so that you can get a larger market share. Let's assume that your prayer is answered. With this growth rate, and now you got a high market share, that will change from a question mark to a star product. It will migrate from question mark to star product. Star product is that product that have very high market share with high growth rates, meaning that money is coming. You expect you to be enjoying economy of scale. Your cost of production will come down. Cost of production will come down per product. Then money will be coming. Ordinarily, we should expect that we should have a very big net cash inflow. We should have a lot of products. However, the net cash flow is always zero or near zero, either up or down. Why? We should not forget that when you are getting patronage, not who are coming to that market to share the market with you, you'll be spending much on advertisement, spending much on promotion, spending much on research and development, and so on and so on. As money comes in, it goes out. As money comes in, it goes out. That's the same nature of anything they call star. Even a human being, your celebrities, the stars, you will see that they have a lot of money, but that's how they spend the money. What was actually mentioned was CGI before the last? That she cannot pay her rent in Lekki. Now they want to push her away. With all the money you get from film industry for advertisement, just put your photo on one billboard like this now. You pay a lot of money. Where the money go, then you realize that that is how star are. The money comes in and goes. From that point, they pay you is house rent. This one you put on your face, Jambaki, what is name self? Cosmetics will go. Part of it. Baba will collect. Part will collect. Will collect. Omata will collect. They are like that. It's natural. So money comes in like that, it goes up like that. Check a typical politician in Nigeria. 6 months after the tenure, did they have another appointment? Check their lifestyle. Money will, for any star, money comes in and goes out. See footballers, I don't want to mention it, but some of them. So meaning that for star products, the cash flow is relatively zero at all point in time. Because as money comes and goes, they want to defend the market. People are seeing growing with that product. They want to do products that look like that. And no matter how bad their own product is, they're going to cut down on your own. I mentioned how you have been a study clock. So people will tell you Gari na Gari. Don't tell you one is Gari is Jebu Gari. That one, the one I used to buy 1 cup, now I can buy me 6 of them. Why will I do buy one now? Gari na Gari. So they will cut out of your product. No matter how. That is why they need to always spend more money to retain the market share. What's the time? Okay, it does not come. Then it is natural. The standard will not be there forever. Meaning that even when they are still maintaining the market share, the growth rate will stop or decline. Or at times go back to zero. So when they are still maintaining the market share, but the growth rate has stopped, meaning there's no more competition, they have moved from a star to a cash cow. The product have moved from star to a cash cow. And naturally, even the star you see in the sky, they cannot last for 12 hours. They will go down again. then come up again. And the human being, many footballers have retired. You cannot be hearing their voice over the year, over the decades. Abel Pele gone, Rasidi Yekine gone, Amokachi who died anyway. JJ Okocha, my best boy, my best guy. You don't see me on the field. I want to play. What do you call this particular kind of novelty match? They will not stay there forever. Where is Agbani Darego? Most beautiful lady of the world. They are not there. Without cosmetics, you know how to give them this nowadays. So that is the nature of star. So when they actually drop, they become cash cow. Funnily enough, cash cow is when NT enjoy the inflow part. They have the highest number of net cash inflow. You'll be wondering, cash cow looks like a product in the decline stage. Why is he giving them much money? One of the reasons is that they are not spending much on competition. Amortization and depreciation have gone to zero. You're using the asset you bought over those years without any depreciation again. You just put that the last value, the what do you call it on net book value, 10, because I think useful. The research whatever you do for those years, you found UAC just they've started. Somebody who went to be around 50 years old was telling me that she ate gala when she was in primary school in Lagos. Gala is still up to do. That's why it's difficult for others to compete with them. Why? They are not spending much money like them. They are not paying any interest. They don't even need the warehouse. They produce the to the street. They don't even hire sellers. Sellers they are waiting for it. They collect from them. They give them the money. They go back home. So that's the nature of cash cow. And cow itself, that is the nature. So meaning that every money that comes in from that is their own money. Typically, cow is like that. You can hardly identify no part in cow that does not bring money. Cow itself is skin, money, selling for leather. The hair from the skin, they call it fur. They use it in industry. The bone used to practice. The horn for body. The droppings, fertilizer. The blood, people pay that. But one of my say you want to be selling blood of a cow. You went to where they used to kill cow. They know, so people have paid for the next moment. Blood. So nothing from the body of cow to waste. That's why this is put it as an example of those products. So let's actually get cash cow over there. Let's round up with the dog before we close up until the next class. Dog, unfortunately, is not going from cash cow and it's not going to question mark. We said that question mark if it's sponsored grow to star. When star is tired, it comes down to cash cow. Cash cow does not drop to dog, and dog is not going to question mark. Why? From the beginning, you identify that it's the problem. The market growth is small. The growth rate of market is small. The market share is small. Today is not good, tomorrow is not good. Immediately disengage in that particular kind of product. Now I call it the dog. In African sense, dog is like that. Not in Igbo sense anyway. Only Igbo can dedicate all his life property to like that. So that is dog. There's no vision. There are two questions. It does not make any sense to be spending resources, money or time on that particular kind of product. The best is to sell off or close down the production site itself, so that you will limit the loss on that particular product. That is done. So each of these can be actually present. In portfolio, we are still going to start with using less class. In portfolio management out of it, we set the question mark. One of the questions is that if you want to sponsor the first product, where are you going to get the money from? The extra money you are making on cow, spend it on on question mark so that it can grow to be a star. So when the star is grown enough, it will become a cash cow. So the portfolio management aspect of it is that at each level, company to have a cash cow, a question mark, and a star. Star will actually multiply the names. It will promote the name of that company with that product. Cash cow will sponsor question mark. Question mark will grow to star when the star is tired. Meaning that at any stage, this product eliminates the poison, which is the dog. There must be a question mark who is going to grow into star. There must be a star who is going to promote the image of the company. There must be a cash cow who is going to be the financial capacity or spender or financial of the entity on the question mark of potential, who is not having the capacity to sponsor itself at that particular time. So at this point in time, the cycle will continue and the entity will be able to make a lot of sustainability, sustainable profits at all point in time. We've casted into 8 o'clock. Let's see if there's any question. We're going to start from this. And probably I'm unable to serve you. I forgot to send the question. Obviously, Brian, you can just send it across to the Google. There's some calculation on this so that you can start concluding on next class. So any questions for us now?
Okay, you can unmute your mic.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Sir, I want you to explain the one of question mark again. And if you can help me run it, because I understood when you say dog will be like a financier because they're not going to spend more on it. But a star can go down to be a dog. So the trend at which you used to summarize, can you just give me a summary of it again? That's all. Thank you, sir. And I want to understand question mark very well. Thank you, sir.
Good. Question mark, that you are asking questions. Where the question coming from? A product you are spending on does not bring more money. But you expect that by tomorrow, by the next decade, it's going to be fantastic. The first question is that, am I going to be spending on this product? Or I don't think it's not bringing more money now. Even tomorrow is good. That's the first question. Second question, if you agree to spend money, where are you going to get the money from? You are spending like 35 million on product per month. You are not saying 10 million. So you want to continue like that. That's the first question. If you want to continue, the second question is that where are you going to get the money from? Now I call it question mark. Now, some of them in the portfolio is that we said cash cow is having excess of cash. That's why we call it cash cow. Excess of cash. Because it's not doing promotion, no advertisement, no amortization, no depreciation. The only thing you spend money on is raw material. So all my account from raw material, their gross profit is their net profit. So you have excess money. But the other product is lacking, question mark. So that excess money you should to produce to support question mark so that become a star. Star is the promoter of any entity. If I tell you Coca-Cola have least net inflow from Coke, but they will never drop Coke. Because Coke is their winning power. So there must be a star product that multiply the name, promote the name of that particular entity at all point in time. But it cannot be there forever. So when they fail, they fall, they will become a cash cow because they already get the market share. So when you have higher market share, the growth is small, no problem. So the excess cash you have there, you should to actually support question mark to become a star. When star is tired, it come back to a cash cow. Remember, cash cow does not drop to become dog. Dog is on its own. It's not growing to star. It's not coming from cash cow. So at any point in time, you must have that three product: question mark, star, and cash cow. Cash cow you finance question mark to become star. So mean that if you promote question mark to become star, create another question mark. When that star becomes tired, after the name, you become a cash cow. From cash cow, you get excess money again. Then you fund the existing question mark. They go to grow to become a star tomorrow. You can have multiple of stars product, no problem. You can't motivate for cash flow, no problem. You can't motivate for a question mark, no problem. The one you should know have motivate, not before having one is the dog. Immediately discover the dog, divest. So that is the difference between the three or the four of them. And I hope is clearer.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for the lecture so far. So I think we have to go. Thank you all, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you. Bye for now.